This week had a rough start, but I'm ready to head into the next one swinging. Hello virtual dreamers, Gregory here, and this is the Prologue, a weekly series of videos where I document my activities for the past week, keep track of my stats and complete quests, all for the sake of achieving my ultimate goal of breaking down the barriers between dreams and reality. The quest for this week, System Reboot, called for me to make changes to my daily schedule to better accommodate the summer school semester, since I've got to make sure that I get my studies taken care of before anything else, since I kind of have to pay for that, you know? So yeah, everybody, how did that go exactly? Well, just to kind of give you the rough summation, things were broken down into 5 essential categories in terms of my activities. First was work, second was school, third was game development, fourth was Japanese, and fifth was fitness. So based on that criteria, I adjusted the timings available for every single activity in order to better accommodate those factors. With regards to work, there really wasn't anything to have to rework there. I only really made a tiny little change to how I proceed at work itself, but the reality is it isn't anything significant, so let's move on from that one. In terms of college, I've adjusted myself to prioritize the completion of my homework as well as classwork first before anything else. This is a bit lamentable since it means that a lot of the time during my weekdays, whereby I would spend just completely on game development, now has to be sidelined specifically to school. I was expecting it, but 28 hours is a lot of time in the week to have to lose all in one go, so while I'm not too happy about it, it's the reality of the situation, and I have to make sure I get out of school as fast as possible, since repeating a course isn't going to make things any better on me. In terms of game development, I think I'm in a bit of a rough patch right now. I'm still doing some studies on Unreal Engine's documentation just for UI stuff, so it's a little bit slow at this point in time. But I'm hopeful that sometime towards the end of this month, things are going to begin progressing a lot more quickly. And it makes me really grateful that I took the extra time when I first started planning out my development and just basically doubled just about everything. So this project, if we're being honest, could probably be completed in a month if I had nothing else to do. But I kind of do, and I'm still learning the tools themselves, so I just accepted that this 1-month game project is basically ballooned into a 1-year project, just because you can't dedicate all your time to something that isn't making any money. In regards to Japanese, I'm actually making a slight adjustment to it, but it isn't necessarily in the amount of time being allotted, aside from me cutting out a lot of the time that was spent on the reference guide. But the main thing that's currently being implemented is a bit more of a change to the daily routine. You guys must be familiar at this point with a lot of the images that appeared in the prior synopsis segment, whereby I would show the different kanji pages that I've been studying, or at the very least the daily routine that I have for studying my kanji. And while that routine has been fairly consistent, I think that it's become a little too routine, and it's just become automatic, and I don't think it's sticking to my head as much as I'd like to. So I'm going to try to vary things up by taking away the prior day and the next day kanji previews, and essentially just going to stick to the main 2 kanji for that day and applying them in a much more vigorous fashion. Lastly, fitness isn't really going to experience any major changes aside from me moving cardio to 2 specific days of the week, being Friday and Sunday, since at this point in time I just want to keep that exhaustive effort completely away from the main study days that I have, just because if I have to study, game develop, go to work, and do fitness, and run all in the same day, I think that might be pushing the limits of what I should be doing at any given moment in time. It would probably make me But yeah, everyone, I think that just about does it. In a way, I could call this quest complete here and call it a day, since for all intents and purposes, I'm not going to be making too many tweaks to this, really. I mean, the school stuff is probably going to end up taking a lot of time out of the game development stuff, but since the main priority with that is just completion, there is always the possibility that I might be able to get back time if I manage to finish homework quickly, or there isn't an assignment like this week, whereby we had a test on Thursday, so I haven't had any homework to do during this period, so that saved a little bit of time. But I still want to take some time to make sure that the quest is kind of cemented in, and to make sure that the effects of the rescheduling are being felt. So for the time being, everyone, the quest for the week of June 24th to June 30th, System Reboot, is in progress. Well then everyone, that just about does it for that quest, but I actually am going to do something a little bit different. In spite of the fact that we have an active quest at this moment in time, I'm going to be adding an extra side quest to my regular activities that will be going on for the next 2 months or so. The side quest for the period of July 1st to September 1st is 2 per week. Everybody, I think I'm actually getting a little bit on the chubby side right now. If you look at the average weight for this week, at this point I should be a little higher than the usual that I'm accustomed to. And at this stage, I kind of want to start getting myself lower since I feel almost like I'm on a freshman 15 situation where I managed to get myself down to 165 by the end of last year, and now I'm ballooned back up to around 180. And I'm not really too cozy being right there on that borderline between overweight and normal. So I'm going to take the time to just steadily start losing weight. And I find that it works out a lot better if you just kind of operate on a week-to-week basis, slowly progressing rather than having a large, massive goal towards the end just to get things done. As such, everyone, the failure condition for this quest will be if I do not manage to lose more than 2 pounds off the average weight number that is provided every week. That's right, everyone, 1 failure, so I have to lose a minimum of 2 pounds every single week in order for this quest to be completed, and it must be up to the period of September 1st. If we go off of the amount of weeks that is, I believe that's somewhere in the realm of around 8 or 9 weeks, so I suppose that should mean that there should be a total weight loss of 16 to 18 pounds, maybe more if I manage to go over, but it is on a weekly refresh, so even if I do manage to lose, say, 3 pounds on 1 week and then just 1 pound the next week, that second week is still regarded as a failure because I didn't manage to lose the 2 pounds. 2 pounds isn't really all that much though, so it shouldn't be that much trouble, everyone. I've lost way more in a lot shorter a period of time. Well then everyone, that just about does it for me, but we had a community quest last week. Your quest, Hondana Correction Ichi, called for you to name the title of the book that was provided. The book was Horimiya, or Horisan to Miyamura-kun. We had 2 clearers for this quest in the period allotted. We had Drake Negrete and Genetically Modified Coco. Congratulations on clearing the quest. I didn't specify a direct reward, but at the very bare minimum, you're getting this shout out, so congratulations on successfully clearing the quest regardless. I'm glad to see that you guys have so much spirit in you. With that, everyone, let's move on to your quest for next week. The quest for the week of July 1st to July 7th for the community will be Trending Genre. You see, everyone, I just finished watching Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online and had an absolute blast with it. It's just fascinating to see that the timing of this show's release lined up so very well with the timing of that show's very premise, kind of taking a bit of a mainstream turn in the gaming industry right now. While I don't play as many games as I used to, just taking the time a few weeks ago to watch E3 made it very clear that there's a particular genre that's just absolutely killing it right now, just as MOBAs and first-person shooters and things of that like did in the past. So, in consideration for the completion of Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online, and the popularity of the genre, your task will be to do the following. 1. Name the genre-game mode that is featured prominently in the 2 tournaments of Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online, and that is currently trending very much in the mainstream gaming community, as well as 2. Name 3 games that are currently out right now, which either A, are within the genre, B, feature a mode within that quote-unquote genre-mode that is currently trending. And 3, to name 3 games that will be releasing in the near future that have been announced that will have that genre-game mode within their repertoire. I'll kind of help you out here just to kind of give you a hint in case you end up accidentally thinking that it's something that it's not. It is not first-person shooter. It's a little more specific than that. Also, let it be known that only 1 person will be able to successfully complete this quest. The clearer of this quest will be allowed to select a character, which I will present a sketch of in the next prologue. In addition, the character will be redrawn in a style more reminiscent to the outfit that a character inside of GGO will be wearing, in consideration for the completion of Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online. Really had a good time with this show. Well then everyone, that just about does it for this week. Thank you very much to my fellow adventurers and dreamers. Till next time, this has been Gregory, logging out.